Matt Swartz with Expedition Portal and Overland Journal, and we're here at Expo West on day one at the Xgrid Campers booth. I'm here with Loren Walker, owner. Loren, we've got this awesome new camper behind us. Tell us a little bit more about Xgrid and the camper that we've got here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for doing this. We're Xgrid Campers out of Las Vegas. We are a boutique dealership. We sell 8 brands of off-road campers. It's all we do, is just that niche. And we look to bring in the best products from around the country and around the world. So today we're here really showcasing the AOR Sierra and Sierra ZR. These are 100% built in Australia. A lot of people ask about why can't I get a trailer from Australia here? Now they can, so we're excited here, and we're going to show you around a little bit.
Awesome, let's take a look at it.
Okay.
Okay, it's Russel Evans from Australian Off-Road out of Australia. I'm here with Xgrid Campers today. Xgrid are the people that are importing and distributing these trailers on our behalf here in the US. And we're going to have a look at the Sierra today. We've got the Sierra and the ZR here, but we thought we'd have a quick look at the Sierra. The trailer has been built for both a couple, but it's also been built for a young family, being able to sleep people inside the trailer and on the roof. Some of the general features are, for example, we have a what we call a Super-Gow high tensile steel chassis and suspension. Now this allows us to keep the weight of the chassis down and allows us to keep the weight of the whole trailer down by using these products that are higher grade steels that are built to not rust. They're actually built so that they can sustain, long periods of time through extreme conditions and be sustainable over, many, many years of use of the trailer. Their weight is around 2,100 pounds dry. And they can go up to 4,000 pounds once you put all your water and everything else in it. They carry about 52 gallons of water. They can option up to 52 gallons of water. And they come standard, I can't remember now, but I think it's 150, so 150 amps of lithium battery comes standard with the trailer as well. We're standing here just outside the kitchen. As you can see with the kitchen, it's virtually a full kitchen. It gives you everything there. It gives you the option for a cooktop. You've got your plumbing and your sinks, and you've got excellent storage through the cabinetry. Your fridge is all in a workable distance, and you can actually have your cooktop, your fridge and your barbecue all within arm's distance right across the board. So this area is what we call our rear pod. It's been built for a number of different reasons. You get into the trailer and you sleep inside here, but what this area does, it allows you to use it as a change room. It allows you to make sure that all the dust and dirt and everything stays out here, and you don't carry it into the actual bedroom. It is just under a full-size queen mattress. I can't remember the exact dimensions, but it is in between a double and a queen, so it's a good sized living area. You have your reading lights, you have different storage options, you have different things that are available in there. But you also at the bed head have 2 doors that allow you to store your clothes in there out of the way of all the dust and all the dirt. So we mentioned a second ago that there's a lot of storage in these trailers. I'll just give you an example of a couple of the areas. Now these are big compartments. These aren't just small, tiny little compartments. These go a long way back, so there's a lot of storage in there.
And those are accessible via the sleeping cabin?
The top is accessible via the sleeping cabinet, so that's generally been built for clothes. So you can actually pack your gear from here and then use it from the inside. A couple of funny little features on the front here. See up the top up there, that's what we call a firewood rack. So in Australia what we do is as people are travelling out in the bush and they're travelling along the roads, if they see some available firewood or a tree that's fallen down or something on the side of the road, they can pull over and collect their firewood prior to getting to the campsite, rather than getting to the campsite and then starting to think about where they're going to get the wood for their fire. So they can pull over, throw their wood up as they're travelling. The other thing is they can keep it. If they don't use all the wood at that site, they've still got the wood to be able to take to the next site as well. The other aspect of the front here is it's still got another, again from a storage perspective, there's a big front nose cone there that's a lot of storage.
So I'm here with Ben Talplacido. He's the VP of Brand
strategy.
for Xplor, and they're a division of Sunflare, so they make these fantastic semi-flexible solar panels. Tell us a little bit about your product and your company.
Well, I mean, Sunflare creates, we have the Xplor brand that creates solar panels specifically for recreation. You know, we do RVs, vans, it can go on rooftop tents, it can go into trailers and teardrops. Our technology allows us to have a really rugged panel that can withstand the type of lifestyle that you would be having with the recreational market.
Cool, that makes sense. Now, you know, a couple things that I think really stand out about your panels specifically are, one, they're flexible, so they're lighter than a rigid panel, and they also give you a little bit more flexibility when it comes to mounting. Like, what are some ways that people mount these, and what are some advantages for using a flexible panel?
When we talk about flexible panels, there's a couple of different types of flexible panels.
Sure.
There are flexible panels that are actually silicon-based, which is glass, right? They claim that it is flexible because it bends. But the truth is, if you bend it enough, or if you step on it, it will actually, you would hear the cracking, right? It would crack. Our panels are made out of stainless steel cells, so you can actually flex them really, really well without micro cracking. You know, it doesn't damage it. We could actually bend our panels about 50%.
Okay.
Mounting them, it can go into, like, it could follow contours of like trailers or teardrops. It could be mounted on a plate to go on your, let's say, roof rack system, and it could go on RTTs, right, your rooftop tents.
And you could adhere it directly to...
You could adhere it directly with, we use an butyl-based adhesive called Heliobond, but you could also use VHB tape from 3M. It'll work just as fine as long as you seal the edges.
Cool. That's awesome. I appreciate that overview. And one other thing that we were talking about that I think is really interesting is you've got these diodes integrated into the cells that allows the panel to function even if part of it's shaded, right? Maybe tell me a little bit more about that.
So a typical solar panel usually, and most of them, will have bypass diodes, right? So if you have shading, it'll shut off, you know, part of the panel so it doesn't create hot spots. But the unfortunate thing is it only comes with two usually. So what happens there is if you have an affected cell, just one cell will affect and maybe shut off an entire row because it's all strung together.
So you could be losing half your panel.
You could be losing half your panel with just, you know, maybe the edge of it, right? With our panels, we have bypass diodes on every cell. So the affected cell is the only one that will shut off and the current will go around it.
Got it.
So.
Cool, okay. And then, so for folks who might be interested in adding some solar to their rigs, what's just a quick rundown of kind of the sizes, the standard sizes that you offer?
Okay, for our consumer market, we have a 105 watt panel, we have a 126 watt, and we have a 185 watt. We actually are developing a 225 watt right now, still not available, it's in prototype. It's actually in this vehicle if you want to see it. And then, of course, with OEM, if you're a trailer manufacturer or an RV manufacturer, we can work with you to create a custom size that will look integrated, right? It's not going to be an afterthought, you know, where you just slap on something that will affect the design lines of your beautiful trailer.
Got it.
You know?
Cool. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to chat with me today, Ben.
Thank you.
Thanks for letting us know about this product.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Have a great event. All right, so we're here in the Snowpeak booth with Jim, who's the beverage director for Snowpeak.
Yeah.
And we're so excited to see you guys at Overland Expo every year, and especially this year, because you guys are collaborating with Rivian. And I'd love for you to tell me just a little bit about what you're doing here today.
Yeah, so I have come out here from Snowpeak's flagship restaurant in Portland, Oregon, Takibi, with our sous chef. Mateus, our sous chef, has brought a couple dishes that we served in the restaurant, and I've brought a sake I'm really excited about and a wine. He's done a trumpet mushroom dish that I've paired with the sake. He's about to grill a steak that I'm going to pair with this Oregon wine. And part of what we're here doing really is kind of giving guests of Overland Expo some inspiration behind how Snowpeak entertains and how we entertain off this amazing new camp kitchen, which allows people to get outside and entertain and be with each other in ways that we obviously can't do in the restaurant.
Excellent. And I think one of the things that I love about Snowpeak and your involvement in kind of the overland space is you remind people that just because we're like going into the backcountry and the outdoors doesn't mean we have to eat like we're on a backpacking trip.
For me, the fun part as a 25-year beverage professional of being out here is you can see how much thought has gone into these overland vehicles and the equipment that goes into them. And so much of planning a camping trip is really that like planning stage of like making sure you have all the equipment, because once you get out there, you can't, you're out there. And so there's a lot of planning that goes into it. And so this kitchen term the French use called mise en place means things in their place. And in the same way that chefs or bartenders choreograph what we're going to serve, I think actually that the overlander, the sort of person on an expedition, has to use a similar mindset to figure what they're bringing. And to your point, I feel like if you're going to go, if you're going to bring one of these incredibly luxurious overland vehicles out, if you have the best vehicle, why wouldn't you bring a nice wine or sake or beer or spirit to go along with your journey?
Absolutely. And so you've been doing some tastings, I think, right here today. And are you guys cooking as well?
Yeah, so Mateus is actually cooking on the camp kitchen,
Cool.
And I think that the exciting thing for us is it's so, getting back to mise en place, it's set up so that you can kind of expand everything out. So he has everything he needs as a cook. And I've just brought a couple pieces of our titanium serviceware from Snowpeak to kind of show off what we would do in the restaurant here.